Hi guys, I'm here with Joe from Jigsaw Tax and Accounting. As we're heading towards our end of financial year period, I thought I'd invite Joe down to give us some helpful hints so that we can get ourselves organised. How are you, Joe?
Good, thanks Heidi, how are you?
Really well, thank you. Thanks for joining us today.
No problem, thanks for having me.
My pleasure. So I was having a bit of a think, Joe, about different topics we could discuss with you to get your expert opinion on.
Sure.
And one of them I was thinking about recently was what happens to people and how can they claim when they have a property that may be vacant for extended periods of time. Say there's been a major repair issue and the property can no longer be lived in during that time.
Yep.
Another one is we quite often have landlords that may come to us with a property that has a friend in it, a family member, quite often below market rent. How does that affect them, Joe?
Sure, okay, so the rule is that you can claim a rental property, if it is available for rent,
Right.
and the rent is meant to be at market rates. So
Sure.
if you do choose that, you might have had a tenant moved out, you've got to do some extended, repairs or whatever, and you say, right, I'm going to take it off the market for the next 3 months, and I'm going to really give it a good reno.
Yeah.
At that point in time, it's not available for rent. So that means any of the expenses that are related at that point in time are not claimable at that point in time.
Right.
So for example, your interest on your mortgage for those 3 months, you can't claim that. The council rates, really you should be proportioning them for the part of the year that it was available for rent.
Yeah.
With your renovations, that if they're things that are going to be depreciated into the future, you can claim them once it's available for rent again. So it's really important, and it's something that's very much a focus of the ATO, is when are we claiming things that we probably shouldn't be? So to say that it's available for rent, it has to legitimately be available for rent. You'd be able to show that your agent had it on the market. So if it just happens to be empty because no one wants to rent it, yes, you can claim it. But if you've made that decision to take it off the market.
Sure.
The other thing you mentioned was people renting at less than market value.
Yeah.
And often that happens when you've got a child living in there, or a relative living in the property.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
the way the ATO looks at that is they say, well, there's actually a part of private use to that property. So instead of it being 100% rented, it's really only rented maybe 80% because the market rate is higher than what you're charging.
Right.
So that means you should really only be claiming the expenses on the other side at that proportion.
Okay.
So a lot of people say, well, I'll just rent it out for $100 a week and I'll get this really good deduction for it.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way. The ATO do know what market rates are. They will start to question these things within, the more information that's around.
It's available.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really interesting, Joe.
Yeah, I guess the other one that is sometimes an issue is holiday houses. So people have holiday houses. They might have, a house down the coast. They rent it out most of the time, but they have, Christmas, they take it off the market. So they can go and spend their Christmas at the beach. Exactly the same. You can only claim the deductions for the proportion of time it's available for rent.
Right, okay. So if, for instance, a property couldn't be rented due to the fact that there was substantial renovation work that needed to be done, so in other words, you probably had to move your tenant on, do the work, and make it safe and livable, and then be able to put a tenant back in it. So for that period of time, whilst you're basically complying legislatively, it's still not claimable for rent because it's technically not available to live in at that time.
Yeah, and I think it kind of comes down to time.
Sure.
So if it was something that really needed to be repaired and you really were trying to get it on the market, and it was only a fairly short period of time, it may not be so obvious, but it's usually those ideas where I'm either going to move into it for 6 months, or I'm going to just give it a complete overhaul, and that's a decision you've made. If it means that someone moves out and you've got to spend 2 or 3 weeks renovating it, well, that's not such a big issue. It's more the longer extended times. Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for explaining that, Joe.
No
Appreciate
worries.
your time.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.